Skipper, thank you so much for your time. 2021 season is only a couple of weeks away. Your first spring training as a manager with Hanwha Eagles. How is everything going?
Great so far. It's been a great group to work with. When we came in here, we had high expectations for a rebuilding club. Once you start seeing the talent, you're like, man, there's definitely a lot of talent that you can work with. Not only young players, but players with experience as well, and players who are reaching their prime. So you got all type of players, and they're all hard workers with a very high level of aptitude. They're quick learners. It's not somebody who you need to say things 3, 4, 5 different times, which is all right that you can repeat yourself. But here it's basically like a 1, 2 times, and they get it immediately and they apply it. So it's been real good group to work with.
Okay. I know that you are very hopeful about the upcoming season, but the reality is that last year it was a very, very difficult season for the Hanwha Eagles organization. I know that you have new message. I know that you're setting new set of goals, but how difficult do you think this upcoming season is going to be for the team?
I can't tell until I see the other teams. I can only speak for my team, and we have 2 games against Kiwon, and I don't know. I'm guessing that they, like you very well said, there's a reason why this team hasn't had much success in the past. But the club that I'm envisioning, I'm watching, there's definitely players that don't look like a 10th place club. And I'm not saying it because I'm the manager and need to politely say and be positive. One thing is to be positive, the other one is to be real. And being real, I don't see these players finishing in 10th. I don't know how it happens. Now, once I start watching other teams and the quality of level that they got, maybe then I get to understand what happened. But as of now, I have nothing but our team and the team that we just played as a parameter. I'm missing the other 8 teams in the league to have a better understanding and say, well, this might be real tough, or we can do it. As of now, in my mind, we can do it, and that's what we're going for.
Okay. I'm curious to know what your message was on your first day with the team. What did you tell the guys? Did you have any kind of special message for your players?
Well, I've always, and it's a message that I've been consistent, because I think that in winter ball in the United States and now in Korea, it's always going to work. You got to play baseball. You got to play baseball in a convicted way. You got to have conviction. You got to believe in what you do out there. And in able to do that, you got to max out your potential. And that's why we talk about freedom of fail. If you go out there being captive of the results, you're not going to see the next level, because you don't want to try this. Go out there and try this. Let's run the bases aggressively. Instead of just slapping the ball early in the count, let's swing a little farther and see what happens. Let's start hitting some extra bases. Let's not limit our game. In the outfield, we don't need to throw it to the infield and relay quick. Let that arm go. See what kind of arm you got. So in the midst of all that, because you haven't done it before, there's going to be some mistakes and there's going to be some errors. But those errors and those mistakes will be our success tomorrow, not necessarily today. So that's why we talk about freedom of fail. And we're going to live that. There's phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. Phase 1 is 100% of the coach. You guys go out there and figure out how good you are. Phase 2, 50-50. Now we're making some decisions, but at the same time, you're starting to be accountable for them. And then phase 3, we pass the torch. Go play. You already got the knowledge. You already know your talent. You know what you're capable of doing. Make decisions based on that.
One thing that I noticed during spring training is the fact that you talk about confidence. You talk about having fun. How important are those 2 factors as you go through a regular season that's going to be 144 games?
Well, you just said it. 144 games. You gotta have fun, and it's not a fun that is gonna be based on results. We're gonna have losing streaks, and we're gonna have winning streaks. We don't know how many games we're gonna win, but we're gonna go out there, like you just said at the beginning, in a passionate, convicted way. We're gonna play with what we got, and there's so many variables in this game, from a bad hop to a great pitch and a bloop hit, or a bad pitch and it's a line drive right at third baseman and we won. So there's so many variables in this game that you can't control that. Always playing with a conviction out there and having fun are definitely, like you said, 2 key elements of how our club is going to portray and they're going to play out there.
You speak Spanish, you speak English, but now you need to communicate with Korean players. I know that you've got a really good interpreter with you by your side. Been the communication with the players or even your coaches, Korean coaches, has that been going well for you?
I think it's been great. Like you said, I had a great translator, and at the same time, I think the body language part, like when you teach and you want to demonstrate something, they can understand that. And then you you use keywords like good, like very good, or different expressions. So you learn how to say charezo, And my accent's not the best, charque, stay short. You learn these key phrases that that at the beginning they're going to be very helpful. And then as you long, definitely one of my goals is to keep on learning the language. But as of now, since we're trying to get the message, we're going to rely a lot on our translator, and it's been great at communication so far.
Going back to your interview process with the general manager back in, I believe, in Florida, back home for you. What made you decide to come to Korea? It's thousands of miles away, completely different environment. It's a big commitment for you, for your career as well. What made you believe that this was the right opportunity, managing Hanwha Eagles, for you and for your family as well?
Well, I was blessed to do baseball 30 years in the United States and basically accomplish everything. Go through all the levels, get to experience player development, get to experience the winning side, 12 years of winter ball in 3 different countries. So pretty much my career was set. I was looking forward to the next chapter in life without baseball. And when this interview comes along, being a last place club caught my eye. And the commitment of them of trying to do things very, like with excellence. We're committed to this. We'll have to do what we have to do, but we want longevity. It's not only come here 1-2 years. No, it's commitment for the long haul. And back in winter ball, that's all I've done. I've always gotten place from last club. I've been through the rebuilding process. So once they say rebuilding, last place, we're all in. And I say different country, different culture. It's like the perfect storm. It's like, hey, this is it. We're back. We're not retiring. We're coming back to baseball, because that's the way I saw it from a personal standpoint. And my family, 100% supportive. I didn't need to ask them. I was about to ask them. They said, we're in. Yeah, let's go to Korea. So that made the decision a lot easier.
One thing I must bring up, watching a couple of your practice games, is the defensive shifts that you are incorporating with your especially with your infielders. Can you tell us about that process? Obviously, that's how the game's being played over in the United States, but in KBO, the clubs have been so much slow adjusting, being comfortable with radical shifts. Can you tell us the backstory to what you're trying to do in terms of placing your infielders in certain spots?
Like for me, it's normal, because I know that shifting era, the buzz has been around, the last years in the big leagues, a lot of buzz about shift, but I was taught since a little kid to play with shift, to play with percentages, not in terms of the word percentage, like it's the one used nowadays, but just with pitches. Like if there's a righty that likes to pull and there's a fastball in, I was taught you gotta go this way, or there's a lefty, or there's gonna throw an off speed. So I was brought up like that. So when I played shortstop for 8 years, I was very shift oriented. And then when I started managing, and I can go all the way back to 2003, our club of Clinton, Iowa, Midwest League Low A, we had a big chalkboard with the name of the players and how we were going to play it. Now, this is 2003, and you can see all along that the shifting came, and I was right in it because I've always done it. I'm a big believer in percentages. I'm a big believer that it's not only one hitter against all 12 pitchers or 13 pitchers, you playing the same. No, I believe you got to identify what kind of stuff does that pitcher have? What kind of velocity he got? What kind of count? Where are the runners on? The biggest thing about shifting is not only the physical part, it's how it brings a team together. Because now you elevate the communication, becomes pitch by pitch. The focus level comes up. They got to look at each other. They got to look in for information from an infield coach. So it's part of that team chemistry. It unites the team in a different way. And at the same time, it gets everybody focused pitch to pitch.
One last question. I know that you're busy. Hanwha Eagles, very passionate fan base. You're gonna find out soon. I'm telling you, the Eagles fans, they love their team. They go all in. But like I said earlier, the records haven't been great in recent seasons. A lot of fans are disappointed. But with your arrival, the excitement is there. What can you say to Hanwha Eagles fans right now as the manager of this organization?
Well, it's always great to come into a fan base that is as passionate as we're going to be on the field. So you unite both passions, and good things hopefully will happen. And we are as eager as they am to bring them a championship. I've been with those fans, and it's tough. They've been so beaten up with last place, and probably a lot of people may joke about the team. And we're here more so than to change that history and the path of that, to be part to celebrate that, hopefully that championship that will come here soon. But again, we can't lose track that there's a rebuilding place. It'll be step by step. When it comes, amen. But we will do anything possible on the field to turn things in God's speed.
Skipper, thank you so much for your time once again. Stay healthy and hope you have a good season.
You too. Thank you very much.